It's episode 43 of the Family Life Mornings podcast. Just a note, we are in full compliance with social distancing standards.
I have not been bored. I haven't found one time when I was bored yet.
Well, hopefully you're not bored after this.
A little serious, a little silly, a perfect balance to start your day. Family Life
The
Mornings.
sound is amazing. I don't know if you can even begin to gather how many kids there are. It's loud, right? I mean, it's a lot of kids in one classroom. They're on the floor. They're shoulder to shoulder. Some of them have their hands up. They have their eyes closed. They're praying. They're praying out loud. They're praying feverishly. And then on the wall of their classroom is a giant map of the world. It literally takes up the whole wall. And some of the kids are standing at the wall and they're putting their hands up on different parts of it. They're praying for the world. They're praying for us. They're praying for deliverance from COVID-19, from the coronavirus. Is that crazy? This classroom in Mozambique, Africa, which, by the way, how many cases of coronavirus do they have in Mozambique? Let me check. 0. Wow. Kind of makes me wonder, when was the last time I prayed for a kid in Africa? Maybe our hearts need to be turned a little bit because of what's going on in our world right now.
Thanks for tuning in to Family Life Mornings. We're giving away free smiles, and we've got one that's just your size.
Being cooped up at home with the kids could drive parents crazy, or it could drive them to creativity. Jordan Richard and 3 of her siblings sat down between 2 logs that their dad had put together. This is in their backyard. They're sitting on the grass, 2 logs on either side of them. The kids are sitting one behind the other, behind the other, behind the other. And what they were doing was recreating Splash Mountain's ride in their backyard.
Yeah.
And the kids are smiling and giggling as they prepare for the Flume's major drop.
Zippity-doo-dah!
Yeah, that
sorry, I
actually
know
was
that part.
playing. And somebody off screen then dumps a huge bucket of water on them, mimicking the wave that soaks everybody at the end of the ride.
You may get wet.
Yes.
That's what the sign says.
Oh, you make it wet.
You may get
Just to let you know, the kids were sitting 6 feet apart.
Music? Check. News? Check. Encouragement? Check. Yep, we're ready to start the day. Family Life Mornings.
There's a lot of talk about people being creative now when they're at home and being at home, but I have not been bored. I haven't found one time when I was bored yet at home. And by the way, do you know in a bag of rice, in one bag there can be 7,241 grains of rice, and in another bag only 7,119? Did you realize that?
That's true.
Yeah, just something to do while you're around the house these days.
Is the sun breaking through yet? E is the dawn. You're getting your day started with Family Life Mornings.
People are becoming creative, even more creative than normal during the COVID-19 virus. And it's okay to go outside and exercise as long as you stay 6 feet away and that kind of thing. But there's a guy who was a little bit leery about going outside, and he has a dog. And I want to walk my dog, but I don't want to go outside. So how am I going to do that? So here comes the creative part. He owns a drone, and obviously he has a leash for the dog. So he hooks it to the dog, one side, one part of the leash, the next one to the drone, and he stays in his house, and he flies his drone while walking his dog. I would think that would be very confusing for the dog. It's like, where is it? Where is he?
Probably the neighbors also are confused by
so anyway,
that.
it's just very, very interesting how someone can do that.
You might wonder how a guy comes up with an idea like that, but I actually know this guy.
You actually know the guy?
Yeah, this guy with the drone and he was telling me about it. It took like 4 hours. He just kept droning on. I don't really know him.
No.
Steve, Terese, and Randy. Friends you can turn to on Family Life Mornings.
Oh, it's time for a tip from Terese.
Yes, it's the school at home edition, which is different than homeschooling. This is when your kids are suddenly at your house trying to do school and you're trying to orchestrate, all the different teachers and the work, and you're exhausted and you have things you're trying to do. And so then by the time they get done with their stuff and they say, "Can I watch TV?" you go, "Yes, of course you can watch TV." And 3 hours later, the parent guilt sets in, and you're like, oh, am I letting my kids watch too much TV? Tip from Terese, turn down the volume. Turn on the captioning. Boom, they're reading. Yeah, see, you're winning as a parent right now.
Great teaching tip. Nicely done.
Steve, Terese, and Randy. Because you can never have enough friends. We're Family Life, a friend you can turn to.
You know, there are places in Pennsylvania and New York that have some pretty unusual names. And so, if you're kind of, I hate to say stuck, but we're kind of being encouraged to be stuck at home. At least you're not stuck in one of these places outside of New York and Pennsylvania, like Nowhere, Colorado. Where are you from?
Nowhere. These are real places, huh?
These are real, actual places.
Nowhere.
Yeah, Nowhere, Colorado.
Okay.
This one's just sort of fun to say. Fluffy Landing, Florida.
Aw, that's so nice.
Nobody takes you seriously when you're from Fluffy Landing, right?
No, a lot of pillows in that city.
I bet, to down comforters. And then in Nebraska, there's a town called Funk. Nobody wants to be in a funk.
No,
but enough days of social distancing with your kids trying to do their homework on the internet. Oh, you're going to be in a funk, all right?
God gives us each new morning. We give you the encouragement to get through it. This is Family Life.
We've heard stories of people hoarding different things, and one grocery store owner is trying to get people to stop doing that. So he is offering up specials, especially on toilet paper. A special deal of the day. And here it is. You can buy a 2-pack of the TP for $3.50. But if you want to buy a second 2-pack, it'll cost you $99.
Okay.
And he has a sign posted underneath, "Don't be greedy, think of the other people." And I thought, that's a great way to call attention to the fact that others have needs just like you do. So, if you want to do the special, it's going to cost you.
Are there instructions like to roll it from the top as opposed
Stop
to
it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thanks for making us a part of your day. We're a friend you can turn to. Family Life.
You're looking for something, some way to pass the time today? Start looking up Guinness Book of World Records, and then like 3 hours later you go, oh, wow, I can't believe I've been looking at these for the last 3 hours.
Where did the 3 hours go?
Right, there's some unusual ones, but this one caught my eye because, as you guys know, I'm a former drummer. Used to drum when I was growing up, and a 6-year-old boy breaks the speed drumming world record. 6-year-old, here's the record, 5,500 beats in 3 minutes. And you can only imagine how proud his parents were. They weren't like, yeah, great. Is he finished yet? I mean, can you imagine during all this? One thing for sure, though, that record, 5,500 times in 3 minutes, it's going to be hard to beat.
They're morning people because they love mornings and people.
It's Steve, Terese, and Randy on Family Life Mornings.
It's been very common over the last decade or so for neighbors to kind of ignore one another.
Right. We
don't really speak to our neighbors. But because of COVID-19, some interesting things have happened. Conversations are picking back up at a safe distance, of course. But around 25% of people who responded said, yeah, I'm talking with my neighbor now. And people are checking up on older neighbors, just making sure they're okay. So while the coronavirus may be causing stress and fear, it has also kind of kick-started a wave of kindness around the country. And it has also taught, one gentleman said, who would have thought COVID-19 would teach me my neighbors' names?
How about that?
No, Wilson, don't touch that.
No.
Elliot, get down from there.
We know you have lots of choices. Thank you for picking Family Life Mornings.